Hey folks, today we are talking to a Jesuit from Barcelona, Pau Vidal, and Pau recently did a pilgrimage called the Camino Ignaciano. So tell us about the Camino Ignaciano. What is it?
The Camino Ignaciano is an initiative that started almost like a year ago of a group of Jesuits from different places in Spain trying to promote the Camino, that is the way that Ignatius did almost 500 years ago from Loyola, the place of his birth, to Manresa, the place of his spiritual birth. And that's like a month walk from Loyola to Manresa.
So this was the way that Ignatius walked some 500 years ago. Why did you decide to walk this path?
Because my ordination is coming up in 5 days. So with another of the Jesuits with whom I'm getting ordained, we decided to prepare following the steps of Ignatius. So instead of having an 8-day retreat inside a retreat house, we wanted to do a pilgrimage. Usually when we go for a retreat, we leave our houses and we go to another place, often a center that is devoted and where you can find some spiritual masters that can guide you towards getting closer to God. But this time we decided that it was better for us to walk and to be in the middle of nature and to do our meditations and our prayer while we were walking in the mornings, and then in the afternoons also devoting some time for prayer. And in the evening we always ended with a mass, and then it was a time for us to reflect on the day and how God had been guiding us throughout the day.
A lot of people go on pilgrimage hoping to find something. Did you go on this hoping to find anything?
That was one of the initial ideas when we were sharing after the first day, walking with the other two Jesuits with whom I did the itinerant retreat, the walking retreat. And at some point I realized that it was not about finding something, but it was about surrendering, about allowing ourselves to surrender more and more. Because when you walk, you're supposed to carry just a few things, otherwise the weight will be too much. So this 8-day retreat has been more an experience of surrendering, of letting go, of not trying to control the situation and allowing God to be the real center of the experience.
Did you find it hard to let go and let God take you where He wanted to take you?
Oh, that's hard. And for example, as I was telling you before, when you feel tired, when you want to arrive to the place, you encounter your own limits, your own fragility, your own, I would say nothingness. And even in that, God is present. And you have to recognize that, and you have to welcome it, and try to find God in that too.
Walking this path must have helped you to get to know Ignatius better, following in the footsteps of the founder of your order. Do you feel that you finished this knowing Ignatius better than you did before?
I think so, yeah. It's true that I myself am from Barcelona and from Spain, and therefore I have visited before Loyola several times. But this time it was kind of special visiting Loyola, the place where Ignatius had to stay for several months after having been injured in a battle, and visiting that place knowing that I myself was going to start walking after him. I was reflecting upon this for several days, how our Christian life, it's a permanent conversion, it's a permanent change of our life. It's not just once that you are baptized, or once that you are married, or once that you are ordained, but it's actually every day that you have to make that decision.
Was there one experience or one image that stands out for you among all of them?
Maybe there is something I also want to mention. It's the hospitality. It's something that it kind of probably took me by surprise, although it shouldn't have. But in most of the places where we went, when we arrived, we felt very much welcomed by the people. Usually the Camino Ignaciano visits some main cities, but mostly goes through small towns and villages. And therefore, people are very welcoming, very hospitable.
So if any of our listeners are thinking of trying the Camino Ignaciano, they could rest assured that they'll find some help and some friendly faces along the way. Thanks so much for joining us, Pau. It sounds like you had a great pilgrimage. And congrats on your ordination to the priesthood.